Blue skies means fun days. Helping skydivers with tips and techniques about safety, training and fun jumping from those who know. Ever been on a plane and had someone refuse to get out because of fear? Yeah, me too. I was on my first jump. They froze in the door of a 182 and just couldn't get up. I had to climb over the top of them to do my first jump. Then they were happy to follow. But what is this fear thing? And do we ever lose the fear? Today on Blue Skies Fun Days, we're going to have a bit of a chat about fear and how it can hinder and possibly help our skydiving. Considering how safe skydiving gear is these days, the chances of getting hurt are absolutely minimal. Statistically, the safest jumps you will ever do will be the ones during your student training, especially in the 2020s. The gear is so reliable and the canopies just want to open. Show the gear some love and respect and it will return the love. It really is a case of fear being false evidence appearing real. So why do we get scared? Mentally, we create this image of skydiving being scary and dangerous. Talking about 1 in a million situations only amplifies these negative mental images. Forget watching YouTube and that scary stuff unless you're directed to by an instructor, which means it will be for an educational purpose. Better still, try sitting around the DZ and watching people jump. Watch them tend to their gear. Watch them smile as they board the aircraft. And watch them then enjoy the skydive, returning back to the packing area with big smiles and bigger stories. Just before we start going through different fears, there are a few thoughts I'd like to share with you. The first one is from skydiving legend Peter Shankman.
If you are not scared, there is something wrong.
But the fear or apprehension should be appropriate to the task at hand. The other comment comes from a good friend and instructor, Rich Labar, who was asked recently about managing fear on social media.
Maybe don't think of it so much as fear, as being conscious and respectful of your circumstances. It's easy to be afraid of skydiving when you've never done it, or during the earliest of learning phases. But as you get more experienced, it's worthwhile to note that losing your fear of skydiving is losing respect for the amount of danger you are in. Someone wise said, "You'll never get so good at skydiving that it can't kill you." Stay vigilant, stay brave, and don't lose your fear. Put it in your pocket and carry it around with you, and whisper back and forth with it constantly.
It intrigues me that every day we trust airliners to fly us around the country, or even around the world. And cars. For the last 100 years, we've been happy to hop in a car at a moment's notice and drive several hundreds of miles or kilometres. And yet, we're often told that the most dangerous part of skydiving is the drive to the airport. If your challenge is door fear, then have a chat to your instructor about sitting closer to the door on the way up, or maybe even sit in the open door during the climb. Maybe have a chat with the pilot and see if you can just sit there in the doorway while the plane is on the ground. Okay, so we're jumping out of a plane thousands of feet above the ground. The gear we are using is the safest skydiving gear has ever been. and it is suited to what we are planning to do. So we know the gear will work. It's the wind coming through that big hole in the side of the plane that chills us to the core and distracts us from what we should be focusing our thinking on. Another way to manage the fear is to dirt dive your jump over and over again. Progressively, you'll find out that your apprehension about the jump will change from injury fear to performance anxiety. Will I let the team down? Will I do what I plan to do? Dirt diving all aspects of the jump will build confidence and awareness and provide a basis to review the successful or otherwise parts of the jump once you land. In the plane on the way to height is a great time to go over your planned jump and rehearse your emergency procedures. This is not the time to start pondering all those 1 in a zillion things that might happen. It is also a great time to remember to breathe and focus on your breathing. Quality deep breaths are the best. Avoid stressed, short, sharp breaths, as these can lead to hyperventilation. So slow, smooth breaths and enjoy the view and the company. For the moment, let's think about good fear and then trade that word fear for the word apprehension. In the same way it is good to be apprehensive on the road in various conditions, there are a number of situations in skydiving where apprehension is a good thing. For example, do you know what you are doing in the jump? If it is something new, have you discussed it with an appropriate coach or instructor? In the plane, enjoy the ride up and use it to focus on the task at hand and mentally go through the jump. In freefall, when it is time to open, do your best to be as stable as possible. This will help the canopy during its deployment. Under canopy, as well as doing your basic canopy and location checks, keep your head on a swivel. You and the rest of your load are all working your respective ways back to the same landing area. Don't cut people off in the pattern and keep your eyes open in case someone goes to cut you off. Remember, the fun of skydiving is being able to tell your story, not necessarily landing on the grass or close to the target. In summary, the 5 Ps tend to cover it pretty well. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Then again, you can always do what I do, feel the fear and do it anyway. See you next time on Blue Skies, Fun Days. For more tips and techniques, click subscribe.